Hey, thanks for checking out the video. If you all like it, please like and subscribe, and hope you all enjoy it. Have a great rest of the day.
Yes, sir. Okay, good. All right, so we are representing Kingsbury's Artillery today. We will be doing an artillery demonstration. Before I get started on the historical bits, when we go to fire, open your mouth a little bit, cover your ears, get hold of small children, animals, livestock, eat bladder, everything. What we have here is fairly representative of a historical artillery piece. It is a 3-pound field artillery piece capable of firing a round shot or cannonball about a mile. 750 yards is a practical range for it. And it's got a sabot on it to help stabilize it in the barrel. On a ship, it'd keep it from rolling out. However, that really doesn't do much against great wide lines of infantry. So our primary round is this. This is called quilted grape shot. It's the same weight of shot, just in iron ball form, and it's called quilted grape shot because it looks like a bunch of grapes in a quilt. When fired, the bag that it's in burns away, and it proceeds to spread out like a giant shotgun. At 600 yards, you get about a 30-foot cone out of it. At about 200 yards, we would break into this, which is called canister, because it's in a tin canister. It's filled with rocks, forged spoil, musket balls, chunks of wire, bits of glass, whatever we could stuff in there, and it's very much a last ditch round. And it's not predictable when you fire how big the cone is. It's just going to go out. All of that would be propelled by a powder charge that, if we were lucky, we would have time to pre-measure and bag, and it would look something like this. This is about 6 ounces, which is a practical load for us when firing grape. Now, the cannon is a crew-served weapon, and there are multiple steps to loading. The first step is searching the piece, and it's done with what's called a worm, or a wad hook. Looks like a corkscrew. At the command to search the piece, it is sent down the barrel, and he's looking for remnants of the last powder bag. Trying to get that out of there because we don't want any of that on the next one, because it's linen or silk or wool or cotton flannel, fairly combustible. After that, the next implement used is called the sponge ram, creatively named because there's a sponge on one end and a ram on the other. When the command is given to sponge the piece, there is a preparatory command to it to tin the vent. That is, yes, we'll do. That is done with the thumb stall to protect the bombardier's thumb. And it also creates a closed cylinder. Everybody hear that thunk? That is the oxygen being extracted, the barrel's been cooled, it's now safe to load. At this point, the round and charge have been moved forward. They've been put to the front of the barrel and inserted. Mime it. Then they are rammed down. At this point, the weapon can be primed with what's called a vent pick. If we are in a hurry, we would use what's called a quick fire tube, which is just a little metal pipe that has been stuffed with powder, and we can just ram down in the touch hole. If we have more time, and for safety reasons, we will pick the vent. At that point, we will either use raw powder or what's called a priming quill, which is exactly what it sounds like. The center part of a feather with the little feathery bits trimmed off, cut to length, packed with powder, and inserted in the touch hole. At this point, the weapon is ready to fire. What I will be doing today, in addition to commanding the gun, it will be actually firing it with what's called a lint stock. It's got a nice long handle with slow match on the end of it that's burning. It is touched to the back end of the quill, powder, or the quick fire tube, and the weapon is then sent off fired, and the whole process starts again. Anybody want to take a lucky guess as to how long it takes to load and fire a cannon? 3 minutes. Way too much.
2 minutes.
Still way too much.
20 seconds.
Much closer. We can sustain a 20-second load time for several minutes. We have done 4 rounds a minute, or a 15-second load. That is always our safe goal to do. Back then, they skipped a couple of steps, and we're doing considerably more rounds a minute. But we're not going to do that. At this point, my crew and I are going to fire 3 rounds. 1 will be by the numbers so you can see what we're doing, and then 2 rounds will be what's called battlefield commands, or as quick as we can do it. After we do that, we will secure the piece, move into the shade. That way, if you have any questions, want to get any pictures or whatnot, you can do that more comfortably, and we can as well. Kingsbury's Advocate. By the numbers. Load. Advance. Worm. Search. Peace. Advance. Sponge. 10. Vent. Sponge. Peace. Handle. Cartridge. Charge. Peace. Ram down. Cartridge. Prime. Give. Fire. Kingsbury's battlefield commands. Load. Underhand. Fire! Right. Pretty much. Advance, worm, search, peace. Advance, sponge, 10, vent. It just blew it in half. Yeah. All right. The piece is secured. We're going to move into the shade. If anybody has questions, please come ask.